Play the clip. Hey, it's the Wim Wander here, looking to go on that new journey. Well, sort of a new journey. More of a journey into the past. My past, more specifically. Yeah, I remember a game I played in 2005 that was unprecedented in the strategy game world. Yeah, and is one of the reasons why I still love strategy games to this day. Yeah, and it was even so popular at the time, it formed the game engine for a TV game show made in the UK. True. Have you guessed what it is yet? No. That should be a big enough hint. Yes, I'm talking about Rome Total War. If I had known then what I know today, I can tell you I would be far more animated than I was back then. I was rather like a statue back then. God. Guys, it's finally here. Rome Total War Remastered. Or as the marketing monkeys like to call it for trademark reasons, Total War Rome Remastered. Yeah, stuff off. It's called Rome Total War Remastered. And I cannot wait for the April the 29th to get any time sooner. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. So on that note, let's get into it. Let's go, Wanderers. Well, I didn't expect to be reusing that intro anytime soon, especially after the impression that Rome 2 gave me. Oh god. Anyway, I can tell you, as a Total War fan from as early as Shogun Total War, it's so refreshing to actually have a game from CA that I'm actually excited for. It's so refreshing because usually I'm so cynical about these, but this one I'm so excited. And this is what this video is about, as you can see in the title. 5 things that I'm excited about to be in Rome Total War Remastered. I'm trying to make this a punchy video, so let's go. Number 5 is modding. Now, before I get into modding and why I'm excited about it, I just want to remind you what I said during my Rome 2 re-review. The second reason, and probably the most important reason why Rome Total War is so popular, is because it's one of the most moddable games that's ever existed. I remember when I was 9-10 years old, I could go into the files and unlock all the factions. Yeah, crazy mod, right? But there's some really great mods for it, like Europa Barbarorum, Roma Selectum 2, and even this really crazy mod for World War II. You just heard me say that the most important reason why Rome Total War was successful was because of the modding. You're now probably wondering, hey Sam, why is this only 5? Why is it not number 1 for most exciting reason? Well, I counter that by saying Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will these mods. Yeah, I had to fit that pun in somewhere. Anyway, what I'm saying is, yes, we can be excited for seeing Europa Barbarorum or Roma Selectum 2 in 4K 1440p graphics, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's give the modders time, because they took a long time to make back then, and they'll take a long time to make now. So don't come into buying this game and expecting, oh, I'm going to have hot, exquisite new mods ready when I buy the game. You're not, right? We're going to have some decent mods. I don't want to put anyone down that makes a quick mod that is really good. Don't worry, there will be mods ready pretty much on the first day, I reckon. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and imagine that we're going to have Third Age already ready when we get the game. We're going to have to wait a long time before those come out. So let's give the modders space. However, I'm not saying you cannot be excited about the potential, the modding potential of Rome Total War Remastered. I think there's a lot, because we're obviously going to get old modders coming from the Rome Total War Medieval 2 era, coming back when we have the new modders who've been working on the most recent games like Warhammer and Rome 2, and if we can find a way for them to cooperate, I think we have some really exquisite mods. Secondly, I've been hearing, no official news yet, but I've been hearing along the grapevine that there might be a faction limit removed, which would be really great, because often with mods for Rome Total War, the problem was, oh, which factions do we put in? And it was coming like splitting hairs. Oh, this faction is more important than that one, and this faction is not so important. And actually, we just want to have them all in there. Now, it probably won't be completely removed. There might be maybe an increase to the faction limit, but if we can get more factions into the game than we had before, that's really something. Now, I do have two ideas that I would like to see mods created. I can't create them, I'm not that capable, but I would really like to see a mod that has the Indian subcontinent onto the classical world, much like Imperator, because I really think the Indian subcontinent is very important to the classical world history, and I really think it had a strong influence on the Eastern Greek states, and I would like to play it like Bactria or the Seleucids and invade the Indian subcontinent, make some like Indo-Greek kingdom. I think that would really be amazing. Second idea I have for a mod is the rise of Cyrus. So Cyrus the Great and the Persian Empire. I feel that we have too many mods about the fall of the Persian Empire or what came after, and we don't have enough about the rise of the Persian Empire and the conflicts between them and the Babylonians and the Lydians. I think it's really important to explore these as well. So I'm hopeful that someone can take this idea and just run with it. Anyway, to get back to the video, in summary, I am excited for the modding potential this remaster has. However, I want to give the time and patience for the modders to create their works of art. This is why this is number 5 on my list. Number 4 is trade and merchants. So here I've loaded up Rome Total War because I want to show you what the map used to look like. Just to remind you, we have all these trade products on here. We have glass, gold, ceramics, what else? Amber, I think that's supposed to be, pottery, fabrics, yep, marble, iron. We also have silk. Yeah, look, here's the Silk Road right down here. We've got ivory and camels right there. And then we've got some incense there in Jordan, and then we've got like wheat along the Nile and furs, I think that's supposed to be. So we have all these trade products. Now, what are they there for? We have them all on the map, but what are they actually there for? Well, let's go have a look. The trade menu. Oh, look, we have all these products here. But what do they actually do? Well, they just changed the income on the trade panel there. They don't actually do anything. They're just supposed to be signifying what's in the prompts and what's being sold. So actually, what's on the map is kind of pointless, apart from having a good view of what's there. It actually doesn't do anything. It's not interact with your army somehow. It doesn't interact with your agents. And so that's why I'm really excited to hear about the merchants that are getting added into Rome Total War Remastered. Here's a clip from Lionheart's stream where he's reading about the merchants feature, and it's sounding really good. In Lionheart's own words, merchants are going to be a more refined version of the Medieval 2 Total War merchants. Not only are they going to be able to generate trade or money when you set them on a resource, but they can also take part in cultural exchange, where if you put them in a city, I'm going to guess you maybe build better relations, or you'll build closer trading ties. Some sorts of feature like that. And I'm thinking maybe when we do like a playthrough, maybe if I'm playing as Brutii, when I'm expanding into Greece, I might be able to send over a merchant into Ptolemy or into Parthia and start developing good relations or cultural ties with them, and maybe get some certain benefits like, I don't know, more silk trade if I'm trading with the Parthians more. I think it's sounding like a really great idea, really smart feature. That's why merchant are number 4 on my list. Number 3 is diplomacy. Now in Rome 2, diplomacy was one of the few areas where the sequel was better than the original game. Let's have a listen to what I said. Which after a couple of turns turns into a non-aggression pact. And that's really cool, because that's quite logical to me that, oh, we're trading this nation, and now, oh, we're improving our relations, now we're going to be in a non-aggression pact. I think that's interesting. Now, I'm happy to say in the remaster, it appears they've used the exact same system. It looks like if you keep deals with nations, you will not only build up relations with them, but also build up your own reputation. If you break deals, your reputation will go down. Less factions will trust you when they're going into deals with you. I think that's a really logical system, and it's just exciting to hear they've actually thought about it, because whenever have CA ever thought about the diplomacy system in any of their games before this? I mean, apparently they did in Rome too, but I think that's more down to luck that it came to actual thinking. Anyway, it's clear they have tried, because look at this diplomatic map we have here. It's really clear. It's really beautiful to look at. I'm excited. This is why it's number 3 on my list. Number 2 is playable Emergent Nations. Ah yes, Barbarian Invasion, one of the best Total War, if not ever, expansions for a game. I really like this expansion. I like the fact you can form hosts. I like that it introduced religion into the game. But one of the things I liked the most was the emergent factions. I really felt it added an extra dynamic to the game, because nations could spring up where you weren't expecting them to. For example, when you took over Britain as a different faction, the Romano-British would spring up, because, you know, Rome has left, but there's still some legions left living there. And the Slavs would turn up after a bit, and the Ostrogoths, I think, would also emerge if the Goths did a certain thing. I think if they went to Spain, I can't remember. But anyway, all these emergent factions were sadly not playable, because you couldn't pick them at the start of the campaign, because they didn't appear at the start of the campaign. They appeared later in the campaign. So the only way to play them was via mods, and it always felt cheap, because it just, when something's not official, it's not been balanced. I know that modders will try their best to balance it, but some people just want it in the game and they don't care that much about balance, and I understand that, but it made it feel, when I did like a Romano-British campaign, it didn't feel genuine. Now, with the remaster, with them basically making all the factions playable, I'm hoping they're going to make Romano-British playable as a playable faction, and I'm able to do a genuine campaign with them, where I can legitimately win and have an end screen saying, well done. I guess that's all I needed from games. But my point is, I'm really looking forward to the fact I'll be able to have a fully fledged campaign with them. And yes, I will be doing a playthrough of the Romano-British once the remaster comes out. This is why this is at number 2. Now, before we get to number 1, I just want to go over an honourable mention. The honourable mention is the toggles. The toggles give you the ability to turn on and off the remaster features. And for me, they formed a major part of why I pre-ordered this game so early. You're probably wondering, why didn't I mention this in the list? Well, the reason why they're not in the list is because, yes, they're a necessary part of the game, and the game would not succeed as well without them. But they're not an exciting aspect of the game that, you know, gets my imagination going. These are aspects I've just talked about, really getting my imagination going of what they're capable of. But the toggles, yes, they are a necessary part of the game, but they don't excite me, so that's why they're not on this list. Just before I give my number 1 pick, remember, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and in the comments, give me your top 5 reasons why you're excited for the remaster. Well, here we are. Number 1. The number 1 reason why I'm excited for the Rome Total War Remaster is the entire Alexander expansion.
Oh, my son, seek out a kingdom worthy of thyself, for Macedonia is too little for thee.
Yes, I'm deadly serious. I fucking love the Alexander expansion. I know what some of you are thinking. Come on, it's the unloved child of the Rome Total War expansions. Everyone loves Barbarian Invasion. Now, Barbarian Invasion, in many ways, in my opinion, is superior to the Alexander expansion. It's got more units, it's got more factions, it's got more features, but while the Alexander expansion is very modest in what it brings to the table, it puts in such an efficient and amazing package and method of deploying that. It just blows, for me, just blows the previous gameplay out of the window. I can make a whole video about why I love this expansion so much, but essentially comes down to this. The expansion sets out to make the player feel like Alexander the Great, and it bloody well does it. What do we know about Alexander's tactics? We know they were fast, we know they were daring, and we know they were born out of genius. And the expansion heavily encourages the player to play like all of these three at once. You've got to be fast when attacking. You've got to be daring, taking on unsurmountable odds, and you've got to be clever because you can't take too many losses while doing that. Consequently, the way you play this expansion's campaign is completely different to the way you play Barbarian Invasions or the base game's campaign. And some people might find that quite limiting, but I actually really enjoy it because it makes me step outside my comfort zone. It makes me try to do something new, and that feels fresh. It feels like a real new challenge when I'm still playing the same game essentially. So that's why I love this expansion so much. It forces me to play a completely new way and makes the game feel fresh for me again. On top of all of this, the expansion is voice acted by Brian Blessed.
Meanwhile, Philip II of Macedonia was building a powerful modern army with more heavily armoured phalanx and heavy cavalry for mobility.
Yep, that fact alone has sold me the expansion. But it gets better. It's not just Brian Blessed, it's Brian Blessed on crack.
Complete destruction of the sacred band has been watched with delight by our Macedonian comrades. The famously invincible vanguard of the Theban army has been annihilated in a day. But that day is not over. There are still enemies on the field, so go to the aid of your countrymen.
So why is this number one on my list? Well, I can't wait to hear the crisp sound of Brian Blessed going absolutely nuts in the studio about Alexander's cavalry all over again. And I'm also looking forward to seeing it all in 4K 1440p graphics. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And I've played a bit of it now, and I forgot how hard it was to control Rome Total War, or maybe it just can't handle my mouse or something like that. So I'm just looking forward to being able to play it properly with the right equipment and it be able to react the same way it used to. That's that. That's the top 5 reasons why I'm excited for Total War Rome Remastered. Remember to give my video a like, subscribe to my channel, and post a comment with the top 5 reasons you're excited for the remaster. I just say thank you to Lionheart x10, Melkor and Norovo for allowing me to use some of their footage in this video. Apart from that, see you on out, Wanderers.